So I'm at the nursing home right now, but like I learned that like when you try to avoid one of the perpetrators, usually, and I'm gonna say it again, usually Eastern European looking, right? When you try to avoid one of those guys, it's like it's a setup, it's a trap, right? They're gonna have someone else waiting somewhere else. That's you're expected to. So I got on the train this morning, and as I was waiting, this guy comes and he walks. He had been standing farther down, right on the platform, and he was occasionally looking over, and I was looking obviously back at him. He did the mimicking of my mannerisms, which is that's expected now, right? That's because that's what's going to get my attention, right? That's how I know, okay, he's one of them. But he stood there, right? And he waited until the train actually came, and then he started walking toward me. So he got on the car that I was going to get on. So I moved to another one, fully knowing that they probably had someone in the other car waiting, right? That's what it was. Okay, so the other car, it was pretty full, and I try to avoid. I try to avoid at this point because there's only so many provocations until you really because if you're in public, you don't want to look crazy, right? So I moved to the other side and I sat down, and there weren't many places, so I sat in the place that I could, and there was this guy sitting, he was on the side, so he was like facing me, and my side was to him because I was facing forward. What does he do? He lifts up his cell phone, points it right at me, right? Then puts it to his ear, but then he kind of maneuvers, like he's pretending he's talking to someone, and he kind of maneuvers so that the entire time his phone is facing right at me. He didn't have to twist that way. And I'm thinking he must be really uncomfortable. Because when the train is moving, there's pressure, right? It pushes you back a little bit. And he had to really almost do an acrobatic move in order to stay positioned where he was, where he was sitting, and like how he twisted in order to make sure the camera was pointing at me. He could not have been comfortable. And every now and then he did he lifted his hand up and did the nose tap, and I'm sitting there, I'm not going to be provoked in public. I'm thinking, it happened too many times, like, they want a public outburst. I'm not going to do it again. How many more times before someone calls me crazy or reports me or gets a Karen video, right? I think they would love that, to get a Karen video out of me. To twist it into that. Okay, fast forward. I get off the train and I stop for coffee because, honestly, I didn't sleep last night again. Well, I did, on and off, but I didn't sleep well is what I mean. I had nightmares, and the last one before I woke up at like 4 in the morning with a horrible nightmare. I don't even want to talk about what it was. I actually remembered the last part of that one, and it was so bad. I woke up panicking, right? I woke up almost crying, and I couldn't get back to sleep. I tried. I texted a friend, and we because she's also an insomniac, she can't sleep well. I figured she would be up, so we texted for a little while, and then I tried to get back to sleep. I wanted to get back to sleep. I was tired, but I could not. So this morning I needed coffee. So after I got off the train, I stopped for coffee, and I went in and I just sat down for a little while. I didn't want to get up and move. I was so exhausted. And a woman came in, and she works at the nursing home. Okay. And again, I'm not going to say I should have known better, because I did. It's just, it gets hard, right? I figured at some point they would send some guy, and these are Russian, you got to understand that it's Russian males doing this. Like, I'm not saying that it's just Russia behind all of this. We know that our own government is involved, right? But like when it comes to the hacking of the computers, when it comes to, just the organization, it really does seem like these are Eastern European, or at least continental European, right? Eastern European, continental, and possibly another group. So a guy walks in. He's got his cell phone out, right? And the camera is pointed right at me. And he moves in a way where it's always on me. Okay, and so he looks over, okay, raises his hand, does the nose tap again, puts it down. I'm trying not to say anything. You just have to sit there, and it gets harder and harder to do. And finally, I did say something. I said, another one of these. He's pointing his camera at me. He's got it out, and the woman looks over, who works here at the nursing home. She looked over, and I'm thinking, okay, don't let the guy, the Russian guy, right? And I think he was Russian. He did speak, but he didn't say much. So I'm thinking, okay, don't right, don't let him provoke too much. Don't allow that here. And I understood why they would send him to do that right there. Like, again, some things cannot be mistaken for anything else, right? They will emphasize it, like when they really want, like when this happens, it's almost always these Eastern European guys. When they really want a reaction, they know exactly what to do to get one. And it's going to be, the camera's going to be right on me. They move to position it where it's always on me, right? Or they'll keep twisting their own selves to where it's always on me, okay? That doesn't work. You got they'll lift their hand up and do the nose thing, right? Or they'll mimic my mannerisms, right? If I'm not paying attention, the throat clear, right? So that's what happened this morning, and it's like not even 11 o'clock. Later.